Welcome to the Dining at Disney series on the Rocky Mountain Mouse, where today we're going to review breakfast at the Whispering Canyon Cafe in the Wilderness Lodge. We ate, we conquered, and we scored it, and we're ready to share our results with you. Hello, my name is Ray, and I'm here with fellow collaborators on the Rocky Mountain Mouse, Jody.
Hi.
Jeff.
Hi.
And our junior contributors, Emma, Aubrey, and Bethany.
Hola.
So today we're going to review our breakfast at the Whispering Canyon Cafe at the Wilderness Lodge. But this is also the first episode of what we are calling Crap Fest 2018. So Jeff, would you mind telling us how we came about doing a Crap Fest 2018 and what it means?
It all started back with an aspiration of mine to go to Tony's, the Italian restaurant right inside of Magic Kingdom. And for a couple of trips, I kept saying, let's get this one scheduled. Let's go to Tony's Town Square. And we kept looking up the stats, and it didn't score well, so we always held it off. But Ray talked me into making a commitment. We're going to do this. Now, just let me tell you, before we left, I was all excited till we made our dining reservations, and I began to have second thoughts.
And the closer we got, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I started wondering if this was really a smart thing to do. The criteria that we used for Crap Fest 2018 was that they either had to be restaurants that were low rated, that have received poor reviews, like on YouTube, or they've been restaurants that we had gone to before and had less than stellar experiences. So those were kind of the things that we were looking for. And we decided as a smaller group, we were going to do this just to have fun. And I think all of us, Jody probably as well, started getting a little trepidatious.
I was like, we're spending all this money. Are we really wanting to go to the worst restaurants there?
So it'll be interesting to see what Jody's final take was on the whole experience, because she had doubts.
Yeah. So Whispering Canyon wasn't necessarily part of our Crap Fest list, but we were staying at the Wilderness Lodge Hotel and wanted to take advantage of it. We've had a great experience at Whispering Canyon before. And so we started there, and we're not going to, at every episode of this, we won't reintroduce Crap Fest 2018, but at the end of all of these reviews, we're going to do one more video where we compare each restaurant to each other and then rank them in Crap Fest order. But for our purposes here, we're going to do just individual rankings standalone of that restaurant, not in comparison with the others, just as its own entity. So with that, we first went to Whispering Canyon Cafe for breakfast. This is Disney's description of the restaurant. Emma, would you mind reading that for us?
For rowdy, rootin', tootin' good time, round up the whole family for hearty Western fare and antics aplenty.
So,
Hey, the first time you went, did you have a rowdy, rootin' tootin' good time?
You can say that.
sorry. I would say that is a fairly accurate. If you were to read that online,
Yeah.
Jody, wouldn't you say that that's kind of
Absolutely.
what you're in for?
Yep. They have some great quirks inside there that were really fun.
All right. The first portion of the review will be food and its presentation. As you can see, the overall score we gave out of 10 was a 7. Jody, what did you think about the presentation of the food at Whispering Canyon?
With mine, I chose to eat the oatmeal, and they had fruit and a muffin with that. And there's only so much decoration you can do with that, I feel like. It's a pretty simple dish, and it was clean, but it wasn't souped up.
Jeff, what do you think about the presentation of the food?
I wouldn't say that it really stood out. It was good, but compared to what it was before, I feel like it's come down a little bit.
It looked good to me, and I still ate it. It tastes good.
We'll move on to the next category, which is our food, the quality and the flavor of the entree. So before we do that, let's introduce the food that we ate. The first thing that we did, and the reason why we kind of went, was the all you care to enjoy breakfast skillet, which came with scrambled eggs, country potatoes, hickory smoked bacon, sausage, Mickey waffles, house-made buttermilk cheddar biscuits, and sausage gravy. And that would put you at $21 if you were not on the dining plan. And that is something that, let's see, I ate, and Aubrey, you ate as well. Did you, Emma?
I did have
So, and I think Jeff did the skillet as well.
Indeed.
We were the diehards. Then Karen did a ham and cheddar omelet with country potatoes and a house-made buttermilk biscuit. That was $15 on the menu. And then Jody, why don't you tell us what you had?
I had the steel cut oatmeal and it had fruit on the side. It wasn't seasoned or anything. There was no kind of sauce on it, which was fantastic. And then it had a spiced apple muffin, and the texture of that was a little interesting, but flavor-wise, it was great.
Okay. And Jody's meal was 11. Let's start with the skillet people.
Well, I really liked the Mickey waffles. I was craving those. Those were good. But the eggs, to me, I didn't like the eggs for some reason.
I mean, it was really good. I got like 5 Mickey waffles because you can never go wrong with those Mickey waffles.
Jeff, I know you had some concerns with how the skillet came out this time.
Yeah, let me just say, 2010 Whispering Canyon was like a double thumbs up winner. Okay, when they came out before, the biscuits and the gravy were the star of that skillet. The Mickey waffles carried it. Some of those potatoes, they looked a little burnt. They were a little dry. And sausage, eggs, and bacon, kind of hard to mess up. So you're down to the biscuits and gravy and to the Mickey waffles. They've sweetened up that gravy. It used to be very savory. And before they weren't cheddar biscuits, they were more kind of straightforward biscuits. So they're kind of experimenting a little bit. I'd say I don't think that's working. So
I'd agree. I did not care for the gravy that much. It was sweet. And then I went through the meal. I didn't eat a Mickey waffle because I just didn't. And then at the very end of the meal, I decided to stick one in my mouth. And then that made the whole experience worth it. I felt like what they lacked and everything else on my skillet was made up for a Mickey waffle, and I wished I had more on the plate. It was too late. We were getting ready to go.
And I know we're probably going to talk about this later, right? But that poses some challenges for the skillet then, because that's not the only place you can get a Mickey waffle.
Correct.
That poses some challenge.
Well, and I think it's fair to say that with breakfast, you can almost get any of that anywhere, basically. So, and the last one is Jody's. It actually, out of everything that was on the table, I felt like yours looked the most appetizing.
It was really good. It was just, it's hard to like glam up steel cut oats, but it was really tasty and it was very filling. Wasn't a big fan of the muffin at all, just because
I
of
could
the
tell
texture.
at the end of it, it was like,
And I'm usually a bread person. I
there's
love
all this
bread.
muffin left
Yeah,
over.
it wasn't- yeah.
So if she had to rate the muffin alone, it was probably it.
Yeah.
For healthy folks, it's okay, but I just gotta tell you, for unhealthy folks like me, steel cut oatmeal with no sauce or flavoring.
Don't listen to it.
Whoa. I tried the muffin. It was okay. It was a texture problem, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Overall, we give it a score of 7. That was where the majority landed. We did have somebody go as high as 9 and someone as low as 6. So now we're moving into our last food category, which is overall. And this, we're saying it including taste testing of others' plates and appetizers if applicable, because we did share a lot. Because we were doing Crap Fest, we wanted to try as much food as we can. So whether or not that's appropriate at a table, we were passing our crap all over the place. So it seems like we landed in the same place. I don't know, unless you guys can think of something else. I feel like it's just basic breakfast. It's, you just kind of...
Which is, by the way, disappointing though. I think the first time we went, it was more than just breakfast, and it's trending that way a little bit.
Okay.
And really, we have a family video from our 2010 trip, and my sister and her husband and you and we all came around the corner on this video clip, and we're talking about the biscuits and gravy, and everyone was like, "That was a difference maker." It's just not that way anymore, which is a shame.
That
It's a
is
real
sad,
shame.
because I don't like biscuits and gravy normally, and when we went down there the first time, I fell in love with them. Fallen back out of love with them. So, all right. So we're going to move on to the next category, which is the ambiance, the atmosphere, and the theming. So let's go to the kids first, because it seems to be a I'm going to say a very family-friendly restaurant. So, kids, what do you guys think about how the theming and the atmosphere of the Whispering Canyon Cafe?
The restaurant looked like you were supposed to be in like the western part of like the United States and stuff, and the waiters were really good. They yelled a lot and were just kind of like themselves, so it was really fun.
They have a lot of fun stuff. Like if you need ketchup, you have to yell, "We need ketchup," and we got a lot of ketchup that one time.
Where's the ketchup come from?
All the other tables actually give you ketchup, and depending on how many people are there, that's a lot of ketchup that you'll get. And they just have really fun attitudes. The way they interact with people is really fun. So.
Yeah, they do a little run around the restaurant with the kids, and the first time we went, none of the girls wanted to do it. But this time Aubrey yucked it up, got in there, and took one for the team.
You've got to do it.
What do you guys think?
That actually was more endearing to me. It made me like the restaurant more, just because of how fun it was. We had the same waiter the 2 trips we went, and that's a 6-year span. They were just really funny. Emma asked for more water, and they brought her this big, that is massive, cup. Oh, he did it again.
Everybody beware, I got a heavy drinker over here. Super sizer drink.
Wow.
If you get out of your seat, you might want to clear away.
That just made me laugh. It was a good time.
It's really got something going for it with that kind of dark wood with those windows right up against the trees. I mean, you do feel like you're kind of in a cabin lodge. I mean, the whole hotel or the whole resort's like that. Yeah, but every time you almost feel like you're transported. It doesn't even seem like you're in Florida. It seems like you're like at a national park.
Yeah, I'd agree. It is what it is. It's what it claims to be. They've had a problem with guests complaining about the noise that comes from the restaurant because they do these antics. There's a lot of screaming, or it's been toned down a little bit. I didn't notice it when you're in the restaurant, but when you're sitting out in the lobby, it's hard to focus on conversation because you're getting all the clanging and even with them not screaming, you're getting a lot of noise from the restaurant. So either that or wall it off with glass, I guess. But
That would be a shame, though. It's the noise, it's the liveliness of it that makes
Yeah.
it interesting.
anyway, we've given it a solid 8. I think that's a good place. You can see that that's where we all kind of landed. Then let's move on to the service. So in these reviews, if we liked our server, we will name them because they deserve the credit. And we had Chad. This is the second time that we've had Chad.
Chad's the man. That was so fun that he was the server again. We actually played a prank on him because they have this thing when you ask for water too much, which one of our kids, she kept drinking water, and so we finally bring out this jug that's really big. Well, while Chad was away, we grabbed another server and said we want to play a joke on Chad. We took the jug and she helped us pour it out and put the straw back in, and you should have seen his reaction when that came out. So Chad's awesome. Thumbs up with that.
I thought he was great. He was personable, and I really liked how we wanted to get a picture with him, and he took time out to do that. That was great.
So he was a lot of fun. I felt like the service was good, not just beyond him telling us, but he was making sure that we had our drinks filled and the skillets refreshed, and he was bringing out just plates of Mickey waffles. So that was good service, I feel, and I think everybody felt the same. It ended up as a 9 on our list. So, all right, and then our last category that we are rating all these restaurants on is the value for the dining service credit, because we all did the dining plan. I would recommend that you just do that if you're going to eat at Disney. Anyway, so we wanted to rank it or rate it on how would we recommend you using a dining service credit, and we gave it an 8. So it sounds like we would all recommend that this is a decent use of a dining service credit.
I think decent's the right word. I don't know if someone was saying, I'm going to Disney World and they're not staying at the Wilderness Lodge. I don't know that tell them to go out of their way to go do it. But look, if you're there, you need breakfast, great.
I think in order to give this restaurant a really fair shake, we would have to go there and eat during lunch or dinner. When they're actually serving stuff that isn't just standard fare. Because you get the same atmosphere, but just with the cowboy food.
Did you get waffles?
So long as you get waffles, everything's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we're done with the ratings. Now, as you can see, we've broken these out into categories and weighted them to give you an overall score. So our food is 35%. Our dining point and our food entree is 15% each. Then we've rated our desserts, service, and ambiance at 10% each, and our food presentation at 5%. So that's how we kind of felt like we would want to recommend these restaurants to you. The overall score is actually 7.5, close to an 8. We're giving it 4 Rocky Mountain Mouse stars. Would anybody disagree with that or feel differently?
No, I think if we were all forced to choose, I think it's all thumbs up, right?
Okay. Well, that's it for the Whispering Canyon Cafe. 4 stars from the Rocky Mountain Mouse crew. We appreciate everybody participating, and we will see you on our next review, which will be Tony's Town Square. Have a good day. Three, 2, 1. I have to figure out what I'm going to say, okay? Oh, shoot. 3, 2, 1.